just had an enormous gust of wind and it's flipped this roof off. Oh, literally. So we need to see whether we can do something about that. Apparently 140 km/h winds, so it's obviously just got underneath that and lifted it right off. But that's our sort of kindling store, so that does need to stay a little bit dry if it possibly can. And apologies, there is a lot of wind up here. You can probably hear the water rushing as well. I wonder whether it's going to be actually possible to get that back on. That is going to weigh a ton. There's a round at the moment down in the valley. That's not a lake, that's where the river has burst its banks and flooded a field. And there's Maya. Hello baby, what are you doing? I spoke in a previous video about rewilding, and yeah, that it did generate a few comments, shall we say, and it's seen as a little bit controversial. But I wanted to show you, how we've got so far. Now, some people think that rewilding is effectively just letting it go like this, all the scrub to come up and everything like that. However, that is a long way from where I actually want to be. You can see we've got lots of little oak trees, we've got broom, brambles, we've got all sorts of dead stuff from the last fire. But if we look around, this is more what I'm trying to achieve. What we're doing is removing the brush and leaving the standalone trees to come up. Vaguely going through and removing the lower branches as well, so the trees actually go upwards. And of course, as we do it, getting rid of the dead wood. All of this, hopefully in due course, will be woodland, and these trees are going to grow up and they're going to shade out the underbrush so that we don't get tons and tons of broom, because this is a perfect fuel source for wildfires. Now, we're not so naive to think that we're never going to get any more fires coming through here, but the point is, if they're going to come through, we want them to come through fast. Something else that we're doing is using little ponds, just like this one here behind me, to slow down the water as it comes down the hill. This is actually the normal stream bed, and you can see that it still will overflow into it, but it's actually going sideways and flowing more over the land. I've got another one just here doing exactly the same thing, and as we go up the stream we'll be digging in new ones. And really, we just want, rather than a massive rush of water coming off down the hill, we want to have it slowing down. That way it doesn't just whip off all the topsoil, take all the goodness with it, and hopefully it'll percolate down into the ground a little bit more, replenish those aquifers a little bit better, and along with other water management stuff like putting in pipes and repairing tanks, then we should get to a stage where we actually don't run out, fingers crossed, of irrigation water even in the summer. Of course, there's always going to be more brambles to cut, more broom to take down. And I haven't shown a lot of it recently because I think it gets a little bit repetitive. There's an awful lot of strimming going on still. Anyway, so now it's lunchtime. Let's go and see some people. Hello. Who's this room? You chewing your sister. And last time we were here, we bring those tiny little puppies, weren't we? See how big or small they are now. Yeah, there's one. I can see a wolf. I can see two wolves. Babies. I'll move it in a minute. Hello, babies. Hello. Hello. Hello, Duke.
Come back.
Yes, they're very strong-minded.
Oh, goodness me.
Hello, baby.
Oh, you're so
Hello. So we only came to see the dogs.
Hello.
How are you? Baby. That's all right. We have sort of similar things.
Hello, mate. You alright?
Yes. Hello. Nice to see you. Do you remember me a bit? That'd be weird. I haven't seen you for a year. Wow. They're busy here. I'll come and have a look at this a bit later on, I guess. Been followed by wolves. I'll get them to tell you about their channel in a minute, just in case you haven't heard of Justin and Barbara before. But there's an impressive amount of water filling up their foundations at the moment. This time of year, it's pretty tricky to be doing much. Hello, baby. Daisy. What you doing? Duke? What you doing? What you doing? Psst. He's your big boy. He's your big boy. Oh, you are huge. He's your big boy. The older tree isn't really doing very well, so because it's started to grow these nice suckers from the bottom, I'm just going to take that down quickly, and it should then put all the force into the younger stuff, and hopefully that'll be a good result and we won't actually end up killing the tree. Another little bit to do, but that's going to be some lovely logs for next year now. Right, this tree is going to hopefully grow away nicely, and now that it's actually got a bit more light and air around it, it should produce some decent olives.